see if we can connect it back. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so let's continue on this one. Alright, so we created an array. We can do from the first one until the last item inside the array, from 0 to the length of the items here. And then we're checking if the number can be, if the number is divisible by 3. Right, the number is divisible by 3. Right, so we can say if the test the ith item inside it. Right, so I is changing every time we do it. It's going to go through the first one, the second one, until the last one there. Right, if that modulo 3 is equal to 0. Right, so we know that modulo 3 equals 0 means it's divisible by 3. Right, then we want to replace it with a number with its own plus 100 on it. So we're going to do a test. The splice. Right, on the splice, this ith item. I remove the original one, remove 1, and change it back to the I plus 100. Alright, I want to strip it out. Change the original one, remove it, and adding a new one with the original I plus 100. Actually, not I. It's going to be test I, right? Test ith item plus 100. The original value plus 100.
So that first I is going to be test I as well?
No, the first one is index, but I is index, right? So we're going to replace the index. What position it is. This is the index, this is the actual value. It's kind of like let me test the one, see if that works. Right. So let's see. The 3 can be multiplied by 3, so we should give 103 here. And 24 can be multiplied by 3. Should be 124 there, let's see. So 3 changes to 103, 24 become 124. Yeah, so it should work. Let me try to submit it, see if that is works. Oops, it's not working. Your test array doesn't call the for each. Oh yeah, it's asking us to using for each. So this is the way you do it without for each, just with for loop. And to change this to a for each loop, let's do it right after it here. Right. So the for each loop is we can call the test for each on it. What it does is just like you said, it's just gonna run something you put here on each item on the inside the array, right? It's gonna run a function. You can for each takes a function, and what it does, it's gonna run the function on each item inside this array, right? On each item inside this array. So for this one, are we able to use this splice here? Let me just quickly take a look at for each syntax, right? It should mention it here about for each. For each, it takes 3 things: the element, the index, and array itself. Right. So for each, let me see. Where is my code here? Oh, here. Right. So let's create a function, right? A function like a we're gonna call it give it a name. Let's call it divisible 3. Right, it was divisible. Just any name you like. Right, just call it, give it a name. Right. So inside this function, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check. It takes a number. Right, takes a element. Takes a index. Right, and the array itself. Right, this is the mentioned inside here. Right, takes a element, takes an index, and array itself. Right. We're gonna check if the element, right, element is a value, modulo 3 equal to 0, and we want the I want to do the same thing. So the array is a test array dot splice. Right, basically it's the same thing here, right? Same thing here, but we're gonna change the name. We call it, instead of test, we're gonna call it array and splice, and index, right? Index and space 1 with element plus 100, right? So basically doing the same thing. And for each here, we're gonna call divisible 3. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me try it out. Oh, I need to comment this part out. Don't need this one here. Right. Test console.log test. See if that works. I'm not sure if that works. Let me just double check it because I'm changing the way I used to write it. Let me see. Oh, if that works. Yeah, it works. Right, it works. So let me try to submit it. Make sure that answer is correct, and we'll come back on it. Oops, it's not correct. There doesn't seem to be an if statement inside the for each. But are you sure? I do have an if here. Maybe they want me to put the function directly inside here, right? So let me copy this one and directly replace this one here. Let me see if that works. Okay, now he's happy. All right, so let's do it in 2 steps. All right, so firstly, let me just delete this part here. There's the comments here, so not too many comments. All right. So firstly, we have the function itself. Right, function takes an element, takes index, and takes array. The element is just the each item inside here, right? And index is index of each item, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So from 0 to the last item. And array is just the whole array by itself. So basically, just replace this whole thing again, right? So in this for loop, we have this if here, right? We have this if here, and inside this if, right? So test I is element. Right, the element inside the position, so it's going to be element, and test the splice is the same. Test is array by itself, so we're going to put array here. Or actually, another way to we can just leave it like this way. So the I here is index. What is the position of the item? So which is index, and we're going to replace the index and remove 1. Right, remove 1 here. Same thing. Remove 1. And replace it with the element plus 100. Right? Element plus 100. This is a function. We did the same thing like the for loop here, and we just put it inside this for each. Right? And again, you can also just directly put this function inside the for each here, right? Inside the parenthesis here. It also works. And put that inside the parenthesis, so you don't have to have it outside. You just put it inside the parenthesis. Right. The benefit is like you can even get rid of the function names here, because you don't need it to call it outside. The name is optional. So this is how for each works. For each takes a function, and that function takes 3 items. The element, each element inside the array, each index inside the corresponding index of the element, and the whole array. And you can do anything inside this array. This function is going to be applied to each item on the array. Right. So array we have is 12, 9, 2. The first one is 12 here. What it's going to do is it's going to check in if the 12 modulo 3 equals to 0. Yes. It's going to test. It's going to put it on the test the splice, and the index is 0 because the first item. It's going to remove it, and ending element plus 100 is going to be 12 plus 100, 112, and it's going to be replaced there. And then you're going to check in the next one, which is going to be 19, 929, right? 929. If 929 modulo 3 equals to 0, no, it's not. So we're not going to do anything on it. And then go to the next one. Next one is 3. If 3 is multiplied by 3 equal to 0, yes, it is. So it's going to be the array, the splice, the second item, index becomes 2 here, and replace it and change it to the 3 plus 100. Right? It's going to do it on every item inside the array. Right, so this is the same thing as a for loop, but the for loop you need to tell it when to start, when to stop, and what to do next step. And the for each method is just going to automatically run the function you give it on every element inside the array. It's definitely always going to go from the first one until the last one. Right, it's always go from the first one until the last one. And you just do anything you tell it inside this function. Right? Inside here, we tell it to check in if the element can be multiplied by 3. If it does, we just replace it. Right? This is for each does. We're gonna go to the next one. Right? So this one, now be careful about that. This one is not easy. Right? I used to do it in another way, but I think this is the best practice to do it just in this way here. Just come up with this idea this morning. So let's go to the next one. Right, I got bills. Use the map method to take the array of bill amount showing below and create a second array of numbers called totals. Right, so this one we basically just want to calculate the tips for each total here. Right, this is actually an array of bills. I have a lot of bills. So for each bill, we need to calculate out the tips for it and add it to the bill, make it the number with the tips. Make it a total with the tips. Right, bill plus tips total. Right, so this is what we're going to do here. So we have an array of bills, and we can again using for loop to adding the tips to each item inside it, to each number inside it. So for example, we're going to do a for loop. Right, again, go from the first one to the last one. Every time, whenever you want to go from the first one to the last one, let's first create a variable length, right, to know how many items we have it, which is going to bill.length. Right, we know we have like maybe 12. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 here. So length equal to 14 here, and we're gonna have variable I start from 0. I start from 0, and when I is smaller than the bill, the length, Right, we're gonna go from 0 to 14, actually to 13. Right, when we're getting 14, just stop. I plus plus. It's always gonna be like this. To loop from the first item until the last item. Right, from 0 to the length. Okay, now we have the array. What to do? What we can do here? So again, it's asking us to create an array of totals to calculate out the bills plus its tips. Right. So let's create a variable total here. Totals. Right, it's going to be an empty array. We're gonna calculate the bills plus tips and adding that to the totals. So we're gonna say for each bills, it's gonna be bills, ith item, right? Let's say variable tip is equal to the bills, the ith item, times 0.15, right? Let's calculate out the tip, and we'll do the variable total is equal to the bills ith item plus the tip. Right, that is total. And then we'll do a totals, the push, the total. Right, so we'll do is 3 steps here. Calculate tip. Calculate total. And then add total to totals array. Right, so 3 steps we do. Right, now it's going to go through the whole array of bills and do the following things for every item inside here, right, to calculate the total and add it. Right, so firstly, it's going to calculate the total for the first number here, right, and calculate tips, add it to the total, and push it to the array, and do the second item, to third item, fourth item, until the last one, and push it to the totals. Right, so this is how you do it with a for loop. We again go from the first one until the last one. And this question actually asks us to using a function called map. And the map is very similar to the for each, but it can return something. So we will be able to say variable totals, right, is equals to, let me comment this out. Right, so basically just gonna repeat this one to the same way. But we don't need to, again, we're gonna say the bills, the map, right? So very similar to the the for each, but we can say variable totals equals to that. If it's for each, we cannot say, because for each doesn't return anything. We cannot call a variable equal to that. On the map, we can say a variable is equal to that. Right, on the map, and takes a function here. Same thing, takes a function here. And this function, it again does a element, index, and index and array. In this case, we only need the element, so we just don't need anything else here. So the element is just going to be each bill inside it. You can give it another name. You just directly call it bill if you want, right? You call it anything. Or just here, I'm going to just call it element. I can call it any name here. So it's going to be referred to each item inside the bills. Right? Then we're going to repeat what we did here. I repeat what we did here. So what we did is, right, let me just copy this one here. Right? Copy this 3 steps here. Same thing. So, and we're going to, let me comment them back. Alright. So we need to calculate out the tip. Right? Instead of bills I, we're going to put element here. Bills I going to be element. Instead of a push, we're just going to say return total. Am I able to do that? Yes, I think I can. Yeah. Let me see if that works. Let me console log total. Totals. Yeah, it works. Oops. Screen is too small. Let me see. Yep. So what it does is it's gonna grab each element inside the bills and do the calculation and add it to the totals array. Right. So we can using a map to directly returns to the totals. So you can see whatever you did, you want to do for the array, like either it's for each or map or any other kind of array, you can replace it with for loop. Basically, those are basically some extension, some other ways, give you some convenient ways, like you want when you deal with loops, deal with arrays. But in most cases, you can just replace it with a for loop. With a for loop, you can do it with anything, and if you want an easier way, you can just use the map or for each. Right. So that means you don't have to using for each or map, but you need to understand it because maybe your colleagues, when they're using that, you need to understand what they're trying to do here. Right. So by yourself, you can just use it for each for everything. Right, so we are basically just run a function on every element inside the bills, and then just add it to totals. Right, so same thing like the for loop, the one above. Right, it's the same thing. This one is a few lines shorter, and you don't need to decide when to start and when to stop. The map just same thing like for each, gonna do the same thing, do the function on every element inside it. Right, don't need to tell it when to stop. It's gonna stop after it's run all the elements. We're gonna take some time to practice on the for each and the map, and we're also gonna use them in the future a lot. So you're gonna have chances to practice when we do the Waymaker next assignment. You're gonna see this a lot. Last question here. Use a nested for loop to take the numbers array below and replace all of the values that are divisible by 2 with the string even, and all other numbers with the string odd. Right, so if that's an odd number, replace it with odd. If it's an even number, replace that with even. So this time we have array of array. Right, array of array. Yeah, so, and it requires us using a for loop to do it. So we're gonna have to do a for loop to go through each element inside the outer array, and then another for loop to go inside each number inside the nested array. All right, so let's see how we do it. Right, so this is our array. Make it a little bit smaller. Right, this is our array. So what we're gonna do is for, right, let me again grab the length. Right, variable length is equal to the numbers, the length. Right, so that's the length of this whole array. And let's go. So for a variable I equal to 0, same thing, right? I smaller than length. Every time we want to go through an array, it's going to be from 0 to length and I plus plus. Right, it's always the same. Right, go through the array. But now we are going through the outer numbers array, right? First one is the first item. That's the second item. Each line is an item. And now we need to get into each item inside it. So that means we need another array. Right, so then I also need another length. Right, so variable the inner length, right, inner array's length is equal to the numbers, the ith item, right, the length. So we have a length of the first array, a length of second array, right, one by one, and do an inside loop here. For variable j equal to 0, right, j smaller than inner length, and j plus plus, same thing, right? We'll loop through each inner item here. And we need to rewrite this one into an array of even and odd. Right, so does it ask us to yes. So to convert it, right? So we check. So we need to check if that's an even number or odd number, right? So check if this numbers, the ith item, right, which is going to be each different rows, right? Different rows. The first row, second row, first item, second item, and the jth item, right? It's kind of confusing here. Ith row and jth items are going to be the first row, first item, and the first row, second item, first row, third item. So it's going to be ij. If this number modulo 2 equals 0, that means that's an even number, right? So we're gonna convert it into even. So it's gonna be numbers I, j, not be just I, not gonna be ij. Numbers I, the splice. We want to do a splice on the array. Array takes index. Index here is j, and I want to remove 1 here and change that to even. Right? Replace it to even. And else, we do the same thing, but we change it to odd. Right? I think that is correct answer. Let me test right. Oops, I'm getting error here. Inner length, capital L here. That's right. Oh, I need to console log it out, otherwise I have no output. I'm gonna console log at out of everything, console the log. I will be right back there. All right, numbers, and just make sure that I give you the right answer. Still the wrong one, console. Right, I do that all the time. Right, test right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, the even, although the even, yeah, looks like correct. Let me try to submit it. Make sure that is correct. Nope. What is wrong with it? What? Let me see the requirement here. The numbers variable is an array of arrays. Use a nested for loop to cycle through numbers. Convert each even number to a string even. Convert each odd number to a string odd. That is correct. That's what we did here. Right. So odd, even, odd, even, odd, odd, even, odd, odd. It looks correct. I don't see anything wrong there. I think it gives us an error because just we are not using the way they expect us to do. They may want us to create a new array and do it somehow. But I think this is the best practice here. I don't know why it's giving me an error here. Because when I test right, it does give us a correct answer, right? So yeah, I'll take a look afterwards. I think this is correct answer. You can use this one. This should be the best way to do it. Right, so let me add some comments to help you understand this one. So this one is loop through the arrays, right? Inside inside numbers, right? Just through arrays. Right, so this one is this one is check how many arrays we have, right? And then loop through the arrays, and then check length of each array we have. And loop through each number inside each array, right? And check if the number is divisible by 3, right? Oh, by 2, right? Check if the number is even, right? Check the number is even. So I need some comments here. Right, so this one we loop through each item of the array, and because each item is also an array, we need to loop through inside it. So we have a loop and another loop inside it. Right, so loop and another a for loop and another for loop inside it. Right, so this is going to be the last question for loop, and this is actually very advanced level because you have to do the nested loop here. And most time you won't need to do that. Just this one is to give you an idea. Like if you meet some situation, you do a loop, array inside array, so you can do a loop inside loop to deal with it. Right. That's it for the array part, and array is going to be, you're going to deal with array very commonly inside in your future work. So this is also if you like later when you do the assignment 2 here, right? So we have about 13 questions here, 12 questions here, and most questions are about array. Right? Most questions are about array. About like 10 questions are about arrays. You need to deal with it. Actually, maybe not 10, like maybe 9. Okay, so deals with array. I can say that then. Right. So the last section, after we finish the array part, the last section is going to be object. This should be a very short one because it's easy. Let me see if I can open it. Right. So I only have 13 here, and the object is also a very special data types, also the data or we'll call it data structures. It's instead of using the square bracket, it is using a curly braces. So let me see, give you an example here. So you want to create an object, right? So variable, my object, right? So it's going to be a curly brace, and the items inside the curly brace is going to be key and value pairs. I can have a name, comma, is a Q, right? And the second one have a name, maybe have the age, right? Like a 75, or something like that. So it's going to be key and value pairs inside this object. Right? So this object is going to have a name and have the age. And when you want the value of it, you can call my object dot name, and it's going to give you CU. Right, let's try it on the computer as well. Right, so let's try it over here. So let me open the console here. Let's try it out. Right, so I can say create a variable. I'm going to call it a user. Right. So it has a name, CU, and a comma. Usually we're going to break that into multiple lines, like something like this. I make it readable. So I'm going to do it. Oops. No, I didn't want to finish that. Just want to break them into multiple lines. Right. And let's say gender. Right. Say male. And age. I'm going to create a user. Oops. Shit. Let me just cancel it out. Right. Age. Right. 20. Right. Something like that. Right. So create object. These are the 3 properties inside the object. And when I want it, it's called user.name, right? User.age, or user.gender. This is a special data structures. And you can create a variable with different properties here. And this is very commonly used, like when we deal with any type of data here, like a user, right? User. So in your website, you're gonna have a user, a different kind of user. So they're gonna have their own. They won't like no matter what, they're gonna have their own username. Right? Might be like udem 123, and they have their own. Oops, I didn't want to stop it. They have their own password. Are gonna be maybe UDM is number 1, right? Something like that. And they will also have their first name and last name, right? So create a user object, right? Let's create it, and later on I can use it. User the username, user the password, or you can check it out. This is a way you can create a user object. And in JavaScript is also called so right now we'll create we're gonna try to create anything like an object. When we create user, it's gonna be a object with username, password, first name, last name. And we're gonna create a website. Right? It's gonna website.name, website.description. Website has a description, has a name, and maybe have a URL address. Have a developer who created that. Right? Has a company who owns that. And when we create a car, the car has like the car has called the color, called the name, color model, right? Color year, whatever the year is created. Yep.
So object, when you put it into your HTML, it'll be connected to like the login pages and stuff like that.
Exactly. So later we're gonna see how to create that. So we're gonna use a way called object-oriented programming. That means we're trying to create everything as object to make it more organized and readable. Right. So for example, if I want to using JavaScript to describe a car, right? So if I can describe a car, well, if you create that like a string, it's gonna be a car with a blue color, made in 2019, and with and it is Honda or something like that. So it's gonna be it's be hard to read, right? Because everyone has a different way to describe it. But if we're using with object here, it's gonna be much easier. I can say variable car, right? It's gonna be array string here, which will be a model. Let's just say color. I start with color. Blue. It's going to be very organized and easy to read. It's going to be easy to read here like this way, right? 2019. Right. And manufacturer. Right. Something. Just shorter. And maybe it's owner. Right. So a lot of ways to describe it. So this one is very standard way. And every time when you try to grab some value here, you just grab call it here. Right. And this basically is much easier to read in this way. Now later when we create our website, each user going to be like that. Right? For example, for when we create our web maker, right? So each user, well, it's just going to be like this. We just did it. Right? Have username, password, first name, last name. This is going to be user. And we also have website, right? Each website. So variable website. Website has its name, right? And maybe it's Facebook. Has description. I don't know. Facebook website. Right. I don't want to end it. Why it just keeps on to end me? And then we have a name, have a description, and also we have the owner, right? The user who created that. Right, it's going to be the UDM123. Right, refers to this user who created here. Username. This is a website. Right. And we can also have a page, right? Variable page. A page has its own name, has own description, and has a website. It belongs to the Facebook, right? Something like that. It's gonna be. I just didn't finish that, so it should be name. Maybe it's a home page, and description is like it's home page of Facebook. Something like that. for this. Right, so I have to create the page. It has name, description, and which website it belongs to. So later we're going to create everything like an object, make it more organized and easier to read. Right, it's called object-oriented programming. We're oriented to create everything as objects. Right, so yeah, we're gonna get into that later. So when you do the object part today, they're also gonna give you some better examples here. Like create the umbrella. The umbrella has a color and is that open, false or true? And we know that it is open not. Right, so has the menu items. A menu, each menu has a breakfast, have name, price, ingredients. A bank account has a background. Bank account has its balance, and interest rate and deposit, something like that. So you're gonna see different examples here. Right, Facebook friends. Right, so donuts. Right, it's an array of objects. You can combine it, like each item is array is an object inside the array. Right, each item has its type and its cost. Right, so yeah, I'll leave this to you to first take a look, and tomorrow we're gonna give you the answers for the array part. And for some students who already finished this, you can go ahead to do the assignment here, right? The assignment here. Later, we're also going to give you the answer for the assignment here. Assignment here, they are just basically just going to ask you to create each assignment here. I just ask you to create a function, and the function going to need you to do something. All right, so we're going to talk about that later. Right, create functions for each question here. Right, you need to create 12 functions to deal with different questions here. Right, so let me upload the videos to the YouTube, and you can use that to review what we did today. Right, today we're going to have 2 videos, one before the internet's done, and another one is after internet done. I have 2 videos today.